And good afternoon from Hord Athletic Complex next to George Kuna. This is Rudy Radiger, and we're bringing you the spring exhibition match between the Florida Force and your Andrew College women's soccer team. George, we got a big game today here, and it features one of the players that people may not know about around South Georgia, but around the nation. You bring in Miracle Porter, the Max Preps Player of the Year in 2 seasons, 144 career goals in high school.
We heard a lot about this player this upcoming week, and from Coach Corey, from the Andrew College women's soccer team, and it's one of the girls our team should definitely watch out for, and she's a true talent.
True talent, and if you know the U.S. men's national system, if you reference the name Eddie Johnson, you think about speed. You talk about athleticism. You talk about scoring goals on set pieces. And Miracle Porter happens to be a relative of that one Eddie Johnson. But she's not the only one. The starting 11 here for the Florida Force, as you can see it on your screen, they're going to play a 4-3-3. Miracle Porter there, central in the top three, and then you got to watch out for a lot of other players. But she's the one you're going to hear the name a lot.
It's a very not talented. I'm sorry. It's a very common formation nowadays. Our soccer team used it during the season. You see it a lot through European soccer and other good teams out there. It's dangerous because we have three midfielders and two of them are holding back, but they're up there and might help. When the teams come into the offense, it might help them come through and help as that surprise man coming through.
And you talk about the 4-3-3 can be a defensive or an attacking formation, because
Exactly.
you can use those top three players to put pressure on the back four. And when you talk about the Andrew College starting 11, there's a lot of experience from the back four. A lot of players played most, if not every single game for the Fighting Tigers, which you got to give credit to Coach Harbinson and the team, what they did this year, not winning the game in region play for 4 years and then turning around and finishing third, and losing in the conference and regional semifinal tournament. A big turnaround for the Lady Fighting Tigers, and a player you've got to watch out there. They play a 4-1-4-1 with just one holding mid, like you talked about, in comparison to the two for the Florida Force. But Elise Maynard, she can go box to box. She also can go sideline to sideline, but she's a simple player, and that's something you need from that kind of player.
It's a different formation than what we have from Florida Force, and as you pointed out, Elise is a different kind of player. It's a quality player. If you watch soccer, you can reference her a little bit from Perlo, how he's all around the field, and he can be defensive, and he can also deliver with the passes and feed the team the opposite side with the Carly, with Rachel, Yaya, and even maybe some through balls with Sadie, which is our forward today.
Yeah, Sadie Springer's got pace. She brings a great work ethic, and the temperatures dropped significantly. We're only in the mid 60s today, overcast skies. You'll see in a little bit here at Horde. Yesterday, George, you can talk a little bit about the heat and humidity that was here yesterday.
Practice yesterday wasn't easy. We've been having some few cold days from the last few months, and past 2 weeks things just got heated up once again, and practice were hard yesterday, as you know.
Yeah, but today it's cooled off, which is a great experience for the match play today. We're gonna just give you a little glimpse here. In just a moment, we'll step away, and when we come back, we'll have a little surprise for you. Introduce you to all the players on the Andrew College team in just a moment.
Tennessee, and I'm a proud STA Scarab. My name's Elise Maynard, and I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm a proud STA Scarab. My name's Elise Maynard, and I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm a proud STA Scarab. My name's Elise Maynard, and I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm a proud STA Scarab.
I'm not playing through. Wanker.
I'm Michaela Pickle from Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm a proud Sandalwood Saint.
I'm Amanda Foster from Columbus, Georgia, and I'm a proud Columbus High Blue Devil.
I'm Carly Hosell from Lake Worth, Florida, proud Cobra from Park Vista High
I'm
School.
Deanna Hiddison. I'm from Columbus, Georgia, and I went to Calvary Christian School.
Hi, I'm Emily Bogus from Miami, Florida, and I went to Killeen High School.
Hi, I'm Emily from Oxford, England. I graduated from Vista Community College.
Hi, my name is Jackie Finnegan. I'm from Lorain, Ohio, and I'm a proud Black Knight from Central Gwinnett High School.
Kayla Kiefer. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, and I went to Ridgeview High School. Kayla Kiefer.
I'm from Darden. I went to Mary Parsons High School, and I'm from Forsyth, Georgia.
I'm Rachel Bogue from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I'm state champion at St. Thomas Aquinas.
I'm Sadie Springer.
I'm from Loganville, Georgia, and I'm an Archer Tiger.
I'm Sadie Springer.
from Kennesaw, Georgia, and I graduated from Harrison High School.
Okay, I'm Yaya Burney, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and
So a little taste there of the Andrew College women's soccer team and their introductions today. We're trying to bring you some more things throughout the broadcast, some bells and whistles as we like to say. But George, let's talk a little bit more about what the Andrew College needs to do today. Obviously, they're the older team, they're the more experienced team, but what do they have to do against this Florida Force team?
We've heard very good things about this Florida Force team. If I believe they're U17, and they've been giving a lot of trouble to the other U17 clubs out there in Florida. I've heard about them back home, South Florida, and I think what we have to do is as you said, we're the more experienced team. We have to use that as advantage towards us and make sure we pass the ball. And I guess in the first 20 minutes, what we need to do is have possession of the ball, calm down the game. We obviously don't know too much about the opposition, so it's very important to calm down the game, bring the game towards us, make them run, make them chase us a little bit, and it's also plays part in the fitness, and making sure we understand the game before we go all out there and become vulnerable to the other side.
A player to watch has got to be Yaya Barney, number 10. She's going to play out wide in the 4 in midfield. But Sadie Springer's got to bring something to the table today to be dangerous. Yaya was an all-region player, along with Hannah Stanley. For anybody back there in the UK tuning in, Hannah Stanley is a former member of the Oxford women's football team back in Oxford, England. So someplace that kind of rings true to me and what I've done in the past, and players I've had on the men's side have had players from Oxford in a very good system. She came in as an all-region player, so defensively she's going to have to be very aware of Miracle Porter. But talk a little bit about what the Florida Force is going to have to do here under the direction of Pat Gold.
As you mentioned, Hannah is definitely one of the highlights of our team, and she was the captain of our team this season, and she definitely has. She's a very good defensive player. She is not only good herself, but she helps organize our whole defense side. And I think what they will need to beat us today is organization. Our team, we were missing a couple players that didn't come back from from fall. So it will definitely need organization, because our team might lack in a couple different aspects. But Coach Corey Harbinson is sure to have the team organized and throwing some good practices out there to make sure the team is organized and it's playing well. He knows what he does, and I think so. If they want to come here today and beat us, they will need to definitely be organized. And I think some set plays maybe also, as our goalkeeper Laura Darden wasn't our goalkeeper in fall season. So it's just one of those things you got to learn about the opposite side so you can come in and beat them.
Definitely. We're going to step away for just a second here as they're getting ready to do the starting 11 and the national anthem. So we will be back in just a second. And we're just about set for kickoff here. Your Florida Force, the visitors will be in the blue kits with white trim. Andrew College in all yellow with white trim and blue numbers. Now, I'm Rudy Radiger. I'm alongside George Kuna here, and here is the opening whistle and kickoff taken by the Force. They'll be going from right to left on your TV screen there, and if wherever you may be watching, you can let us know. You can tweet. The Twitter handle for me is Rude Sports. That's RUUD Sports. And Force working it up down the right side and building play up nicely, getting towards the byline, defended by Bogus, and she's going to turn it away and send it forward towards Springer, but that'll just allow Andrew to look to regain their shape, and they're going to work it all the way back to the goalkeeper, who's wearing number 18. And George, you can speak on that number as a goalkeeper and the unusualness of wearing 18.
It's a very uncommon number. I mean, it's usually 1, 12, and college 00, maybe 99, I don't know. 18, I haven't seen it before. Have a couple friends that play 18, but in the midfield.
Yes,
Haven't seen the goalkeeper playing 18.
It's usually a good attacking number, and Springer applying pressure, and the Force going to get out of there through Gold, and Gold will have some space and swing it through the defense, and the unusual number 1, Jacqueline Yaram. I'm going to stumble over that one all day.
I'm going to say Yamalich.
Yamalich, wearing number 1 as a center back.
And one of the things we can tell about the beginning is because it's how the Florida Rush team, they're trying to pass from back there. It's one of those things we were talking about. You know, they're passing, they're feeling a little bit in the game. That's one of the kind of stuff we should do also, you know?
Yep, definitely.
Feel the game a little bit and try to see what the opposition's all about. We don't know much about them. They don't know too much about us. So it's basically just feeling for the opposition, seeing what will happen.
The only touch taken by Porter so far is Bernie tries to get around and loses it. But the only touch that Porter has made for the Force was on the opening kickoff. There's Bernie on the ball. And she's going to skip past the defender, gets into the attacking half, and misses the ball. But it's going to be picked up by Kiefer. And build-up play, looking for Kiefer. Top of the box, squares it over. Springer's first touch is it deceives, but gets to a clearance just out of the way. And here comes Porter, picking the ball up just inside her own half. And there's Maynard, who we talked about, Elise, coming back to defend. And a little through ball picked up by Darden, something we didn't talk about in the pregame. Laura Darden, a former soccer player, played here last year, but she came to Andrew College as a softball player because the starting goalkeeper all region has transferred on to University of Central Florida, where she'll be a bowl. And there's Porter picking it up and calmly keeping it to Gold. Kind of disorganized right now. Both teams, like you said, feeling each other out. Not really able to find that final pass.
You can tell this time of the game, no one wants to open up too much, you know, and it might be a little disorganized here and there, but you see people coming back and tucking back. As you said, Elise was coming back as her role, coming back to Mark Porter, and it's just one of the things we're probably gonna see in the first 20 minutes of the game.
And thanks to our crack statistician at South Florida that she went to, not Central Florida, not to be mistaken there. They are the Bulls, correct? I had that part right.
One of the things our team might take toward advantage is we've seen this before. Kayla Kiefer on the side and also Carly Hozo. If we put those through balls, those are somewhat of fast players, and as we said, you know, we don't know the other team, we don't know so much about their weaknesses, and just try to get through some through balls and feel them a little bit, you know.
Yep, and one of the things that may play to our disadvantage is the number of players on the Andrew College roster today compared to the Florida Force. They bring in a nice sized bench, How much they'll use them, we don't know yet. But with only a few subs, Jackie Finnegan, Lorain, Ohio native, came as a basketball player, and as much as this roster has been built, some, like you talked in the pregame, some transfers out at the break, some people moving on to NCAA programs or choosing not to be college athletes, and things got very slim for Coach Harbinson. So Jackie Finnegan and
Coach Corey Harbinson has done a very good job with this program the last year. You know, we've seen it. The girls hadn't won a conference game in a while, and they came back. They went to the conference semifinals. They did a really good job, and now they've suffered a couple losses through transfers and everything. But he's building it again. You know, he's finding some players. He's getting things going, and all we can do is hope that things go good. You know, I mean, he's putting in the effort, and the girls are probably doing it too. So let's just hope things goes as expected.
Yeah, you got to build a program, and you have to have aspirations and a direction. Here's Porter picking the ball up, winning it off of Andrew College, and coming forward, and a good tackle there coming from Sadie, or Sadie. Danger here as Nearing trying to get by Bogus, but there's Hosell picking it up, looking for that ball up the line to Springer. That ball's got to be more in behind, and Springer needs to make that run in behind the defense, not trying to get it in front of them as she's making that diagonal run. And here comes Bernie. She's got pace and defended well. Can she get it cut across? And we will have a goal kick as Bernie could not get that turn towards the penalty mark on a ball back into the box.
Bernie is definitely one of the guys Florida have to watch out for. And as we've seen before, she took with a lot of skill. She took on the defender, and the field just ended for her. But they might be not as lucky next time.
It's very true. And here's Rachel Bogue, the Florida connection on this Andrew College team. She's won 3 state titles at St. Thomas Aquinas in Florida.
As I'm from Florida, I can tell you St. Thomas Aquinas is a big powerhouse for men's and women.
There's a ball looking for Hosell, and knocked away by the goalkeeper Megan Fallon. And here's Porter, top of the box, picks her head up. She's going to lay it across, and a shot taken but blocked by Stanley. And we will have our first corner kick of the match. So first corner kick to be taken.
As I was saying before, St. Thomas Aquinas is a big powerhouse in Florida for men and women. For women, they've won states ever since I've moved to Florida, which is around 9 years ago. They're a big powerhouse, and sure, it was a big time for Rachel Bogue.
And this would be gold taking it. Right foot will be an outswinger. One player up by Darden. Everybody else top of the box for the Force. And sent towards Porter and defended well. But Andrew cannot get on the end of it, so possession will stay here with the Force.
At this point, we could see Elise man marking Porter, and we see how Elise is a very tough player, and we saw her going through and winning the ball.
Anna Stanley will clear that away out of danger. Cleared away before Bailey Mills could get on the end of it. This will be taken on the throw-in by Kelsey Kitchen. Kitchen's throw-in's flicked on. And Springer is going to pick this up. Touch past the defender, and it will roll out of bounds for a throw-in to the Force in their own half of the field. We're about 10 minutes into the match here, first half. This is the Andrew College Digital Network next to George Kuna. This is Rudy Radiger, and sorry about any obstruction you're getting on the camera there. We are trying to keep things dry, as we do have a light drizzle here at Hord. And Bernie's pass looking for Springer's intercepted, but Maynard's there. And Porter will pick it up, but cannot get past the tough defense there for Andrew College.
What we can tell from Porter so far, she's a player that likes to carry the ball, and we've been seeing that she put some through balls already. She came besides the goal, and very dangerous player, you know.
And the stats are misgiving. You would look at that 144 goals, 16 assists as someone that's just going to, every time she gets it, have a rip.
But she's doing completely opposite right now. She's feeling the game and putting the ball through and passing, you know, coming up with a run to the top of the box and then passing to the side, trying to find a space.
Here's Ozell looking for Bogue. Poking through. Rachel Bogue's left foot is going to be high over the goal, so it'll be another goal kick. But you're right, it's the opposite. She's very much a complete player. She's not just the goal scorer. It's a nice crowd out here today at Hord Field. Light rain on cool conditions in South Georgia. Here's Porter. She picks that up. That's like the shield needs to be there a little bit more if you're going to be really concerned about her. Here's Bogue, handing off to Maynard. She turns and gets away from the pressure, and we'll swing it over to Bogus, playing left back, and Hosell can't turn away. Instead, that ball will come all the way back, just about in the defensive third for the Fighting Tigers. You know, you speak about Lord Darden and Georgia, our goalkeeper, that, you know, I'm just going to tell people, ranked 4th in the nation, the NJCA, in the fall for the men's team in saves. So you can appreciate, you know, that corner kick going short and being able to be cleared away, not having to face that early in the game.
Yeah, being a goalkeeper is a very tough thing, especially for myself, training every day, practicing every day. It's still tough. Let's go with you for a second.
And here's the Fighting Tigers looking towards the back post. Bernie gets a chest on it. Now she's going to have to hold it up under pressure and looks to turn and has the ball taken away. And here come not really the counterattack that you would maybe expect. Numbers are a possibility up. Now they're going to look for that through ball for Porter. Getting in behind. Darden comes out, gets a touch to it, and now trouble for the Fighting Tigers. Porter shot is blocked by Stanley, and the long-range shot is going to find the back of the net here. As coming up from the left back is Kelsey Kitchen, and that'll give the first goal of the game. Darden did well on that first initial save.
Did very well. I mean, there's so much she could do. And as we were going on before, as a goalkeeper, even if you're training every day, you're putting the effort there every day, there's still things that will surprise you on every day. I mean, this season you could look at a couple goals that it was a different thing for me, corner here, corner there. And for her, I imagine for her, you know, not having the experience and all, and she did very well. You know, she came out, she cut down Porter's angle. Porter could have scored right there, but she cut her down, and it was just unlucky for our girls that the left back hit a really nice shot.
Yeah, Kitchen did very well, stayed composed and took advantage of the goal, the back post from distance. So 1-0 here to the Force as they score in the 32 minutes to go. Here's Bernie.
From this play, we see Yaira's composure, Bernie's composure, and how she gets the ball and passes along. We see here Carly.
There's Hosell towards the penalty mark, and Kiefer can't get it, and looking for Bogue, and that's knocked away. Now Elise Maynard. Now they're stretched. Played for Bogue, and her touch gives it away. The interesting thing about these three up top for the Force, they're not really static as far as trying to lead the line. They're also not coming across the field side to side. Porter drops in sometimes, and she'll come a little wide, but there's not an interchange from the wing players.
They're not interchanging as we see a couple of teams, but they're interchanging as how they come back, how far they come back. You know, when we see Porter coming back more, we always see someone else staying there and pushing a little bit with our defender as Diana or Sydney or Hannah, and but I think it's a very smart move because you just won't expect sometimes for a player to be there. It's pretty much a surprise player to be there a couple times here and there.
Checking in next stoppage for the Force, which we'll get that now, will be April Crosby from goes to West Nassau High School. And there's looking out wide for the substitute Crosby, and that one's going to go out. The other player that came in after the goal for the Force is Mercedes Villanueva. So throw in down by the corner flag for Andrew. Maynard will knock it off of Crosby, and it'll stay with Andrew College here.
One thing to observe here is how the defense line from Florida Force works. They work very, very effective. You know, we see the left back coming through and always forcing a little bit. As we can see right now, she forced Bernie to make a mistake, which is one of the things that's very important in soccer, forcing the good player to make a mistake, not giving them enough time to do something productive with the ball. They're doing a very good job today on the defensive.
They are. Not only are they doing a good job, they're also communicating very well back there. You know, Bowen Clark, the center back, number 19 on the left side of the back four, has been very communicating. She's going to get the ball here, touches Bass Springer, and that'll go out for Andrew College. I don't love that throw as a coach, like back in that area, because, you know, you have to really trust the pitch, you have to trust your throw, you have to trust the player, and not getting pressure.
Especially in conditions like these, wet conditions. I mean, you know your players, but sometimes, you know, if there's a good player there to pressure, you don't want to give that player an opportunity to go straight into goal.
And here, Bogue back to Bogus. Couple Florida connections there, and now out to Hosell, another one. That's going to go out on the far side in front of a nice crowd here on this gloomy but perfect soccer weather.
It's a beautiful soccer weather, even for a goalkeeper. As a goalkeeper, you don't want it to be too wet, but when it's this wet, I mean, your gloves will be good, everything will be good, things will be sticking to you. It's a good weather to play soccer.
Missed touch is able to be cleared away by the Force, but it's only going to come back to Maynard. And now she's going to lose it, and Bogus is going to come forward as the Force putting good pressure here. Tucker is going to lose it to Porter, and Porter turns on the Jets there quickly, now cuts it back. The composure of a player who's a sophomore in high school to pick her head up and try and find the good pass there. I want to say hello to Tyler Mason, saying good luck from Scotland, watching the broadcast here. Look forward to seeing Tyler in the fall here in an Andrew College shirt.
As a player, I see the good work that's being done towards the men's soccer for next year, and hope everything goes well.
Hiddison turning outside, and we'll play that in towards the bench for Andrew College. It'll be a throw-in, and we'll get another substitute here.
Valerie Macchiarelli.
I'll let you say that one. We're going to get the first
Italian.
sub for Andrew College. Amanda Foster coming in. She's going to replace Springer.
Aside from all the difficulties, one thing that we can point out from our team, the Andrew Tigers, the Andrew Lady Tigers, every time we lose a ball, there's always someone covering, and especially Elise Maynard. If you look at her, every time she loses a ball or someone loses the ball, she's coming full force back to regain that ball. That's very important for a time like these, when things aren't so good. You lack a little bit of players here and there, but you're coming. You know, you're running, you're trying, and you're making sure you don't give too many open spaces and gaps to players such as Porter to have a free space to do whatever she wants with the ball and come up with something productive.
And the adjustment for Andrew College that Harbinson's made since brought Amanda Foster in, who really like her play. As a coach, she's very simple, she's very composed, but that move, she came into midfield, is going to play next to Bogue, and that puts Kiefer up top.
She also scored the goals that took us to regional semifinals.
That's very true. It was a historic goal for Andrew College. It was here on Hord Field in a game that meant a lot to the program. That's going to go out as the Force are kind of keeping the ball on this side of the half. We're about 20 minutes into the first half here, playing two 45-minute halves. And here is Kiefer picking it up. She's going to skip past one defender, but right now she is by herself with Foster coming to help, and she's going to get the ball square. If they can switch it, Bernie can get a little wider. She would have a clear path into goal. Tucked in a little too much, maybe, did Bernie.
One of those little things that make a full difference in soccer, you know, maybe 2-3 yards to the side, in front, you know, just one of those things. I don't think we're doing bad so far. I think we're doing good. It's just a little adjustments here and there. As you said, at this play that just happened, if Bernie was a little bit stretched out towards the side of the field a little bit more, she could have gotten the through ball and been 1v1 with the goalkeeper. It's just little things to adjust and make sure we take those opportunities from now on.
Yeah, both teams. This is a good match. There's not a lot of mistakes going on, and both teams can obviously play. As Bernie tries to skip past, and it's going to be picked up by the substitute Valerie here.
Very good clearance by Diana.
Yes. One of the few sophomores on the team is Hiddison from Columbus, Georgia, and an alum of Calvary Christian, soon to be an alum of Andrew College. If you're just watching for the first time, Andrew College is a 2-year transferable college in Southwest Georgia, Cuthbert, and member of the National Junior College Athletic Association, but very unlike the prototypical, you know, conception of a junior college. Andrew College is residential, it's 161 years old. Mark Brown might remember the beginnings of that, but he might be the only one at this school. But the history here is extensive, which is very unusual when people think of junior college, George, and you talk about like why you came here initially.
As a junior college, it's a very good program. It gives you space and time and all the resources to be successful. You know, as a goalkeeper, I really didn't want to go somewhere. I would just sit in the bench and just practice. And I wanted some time. I wanted to be able to get my time and fight against people that would give me room to maybe start to get playing time. And I think it was the right decision for the time. I met the right people. I'm doing this right now, which is really important for my life. I'm pretty sure it will help me someday. And it's just one of those things we make a right decision in life. You know, Andrew College is a very good place to come. I recommend it anytime to anyone.
Here comes Porter. She's going to cut back Hiddison and then look to square it in the middle, but Kiefer stepping in well. Now to Bernie. And just, you know, those are just the things about soccer. You do a good combo there and just losing it. And that's going to be picked up by Foster. Those are the things I love by her. She's like, when you look at a center midfielder, that's the kind of play. Looks one way, it's not there, let's switch it. Now she's going to pick it up wide and skips past the defender and looking to square it for Bogue. Just not...
It's one of the things to point out about Foster. She's always transitioning from one side to the other, finding open gaps, and it's a very important thing for a soccer player, especially for someone that plays in the midfield. You know, finding open gaps in the click at half a second. Sometimes that's the difference between a run for a goal or a run that the goalkeeper's going to get it.
That's very true. And Bailey Buchanan, Taylor Thomas and Bailey Buchanan came back into the game. And I missed one there for the Force. Looking out wide to stretch the play, but it's going to go out for a throw-in for Buchanan.
One player that I like the way she plays, Sydney Tucker. She's always coming in rough. She's a true defender. I think it's very important for teams to have two defenders, one that's a little more laid back and one that will go full force. That's what the kind of thing we have. We have Hannah, who's the captain, who's there controlling everything, very calm at every moment. And we have Sydney Tucker, who will go out there and give her full self and just not give any gaps. And sometimes even committed penalties here and there, but I think she's a good asset to our team.
She is, and that's something by playing you're gonna learn those things. And speaking of Stanley, and there, well, Darden comes out and collects it. But want to say hello to Joe Stanley, who's watching. The Hannah and the Fighting Tigers from England. And Yaya can't keep that one in. It's going to come out about 10 yards inside the Fighting Tigers half, and a quick throw-in taken. As the versatility of Bowen Clark, she started off playing center back. Now she's playing in midfield. And Gold looking for her, can't win it, but now Kiefer picks it up. She's got one to beat. Now coming back to defend is Michaela. Looking for Hosel. Hosel left foot across, bounces, and Kiefer not there for the rebound. So both keepers having a little bit of, challenges in this weather.
It's a good weather to play soccer, but it's one of those things you have to train a lot to get. I mean, the bounce is going to be a little bit different, and how she went so sure to the ball had a little bounce before. It's just one of those things a goalkeeper can. In this weather, it's not the ball you're going to catch every single ball. You're going to try to hit it a little bit here and there. And here she comes out, doing a nice job coming out of the goal. The last few years, goalkeepers have that role too of a kind of a sweeper keeper, especially with Neuer after the most recent World Cup coming out, and it's one of the things that will put a goalkeeper to start, not just saves anymore. Being able to come out with the foot and be secure back there.
It's one thing we hear all the time in training from George is, if I tell you to play it back, play it to me. He's confident with his feet. Here comes Andrew College, and while wide of the mark, but a strike from distance there from Rachel Bogue. And we'll get Crosby will come back in the game, April Crosby. And replaces Taylor Ham. About 18:24 to go here in the opening half. A goal about 13 minutes into the match, scored by Kelsey Kitchen, unassisted. And Bogue's touch, can't get it. She tries on the tackle to get it to Kiefer, and it's going to be picked up and brought forward. And a good tackle right at the midline. Bogue's back to get it, and she lays it off to Stanley. Stanley looking for Yaya Burney and Kiefer, and just a little miscommunication from the two attackers. But here comes Andrew College, feeling it a little bit, and got a foul called near the force bench, so Bogue will take the free kick. This has got to be a ball you would think you would try and hit around the penalty mark.
Definitely, this is the kind of ball you want to give you want to kick it around to fall around the penalty mark, but with direction to the goal. If that ball bounces, it's going to be a very complicated ball for the goalkeeper. It's a weird bounce. It's the kind of ball you want to put in the direction of the goal, maybe coming down around the penalty kick. For our players to try to be there, even if they don't hit it, it's a difficult life for the goalkeeper.
Here's Bogue, sends it, bending towards Kiefer. Goalkeeper comes out and does a good job of punching it, does fouling.
Here comes Porter.
And here comes Porter on the counterattack. First time we've really seen the attempted counterattack, and Tucker's tackle knocks the ball away from Porter, and Darden's out to collect it.
Our defensive line has been doing a very good job in the past 10 minutes or so. We haven't given them much room to work a lot. After the goal, this player was the one they got in the most freedom around. But now we're closing up the gaps and we're making them work. We're the one attacking for the last few minutes.
There's Burney. She's stepping up her play recently and cutting past a couple, putting it over to Hosel. Looking back to Burney now on the far left side. Bogue pressing up and making the wide run. Bernie looking, play it out for Hosel, and right foot trying to swing that into the near post, maybe across even. Goes out of bounds, so under 16 minutes to go here in the opening half. 1-0 in favor of the Florida Force. And if you missed the pregame, I encourage you to go back afterwards, but just kind of as a recap, the Force bring in the Max Preps Player of the Year, and she's picking the ball up here in her own half, Miracle Porter. Through ball looking for Thomas, and Thomas is going to fight all the way to the end line, but that's going to go out for a goal kick, and we'll have a substitution. Kitchen, the goal scorer for the Force, will come back in and replace Bailey Mills here at left back.
One of the things we've been very, very lucky today with the shots, we've got a few openings, but we just haven't hit it the right way we want to. Coming back from an injury, from a shoulder dislocation, I came to practice a little bit with the girls to come back at a little bit slower level, and taking a couple shots from the girls, and I'm just telling you, they shoot as well as the guys do.
Yeah, if you get Rachel Bogue to have a go, and here's a shot from distance, and that's going to get over the hands of Darden, and that'll be a goal from Bowen Clark from distance.
Since we're talking from the quality shots from our girls, the Florida Force have some rockets also. Both shots, quite impossible for Laura Darden to come there and reach it.
Yeah, picking that ball up, and Darden, not a chance there. I mean, both shots almost near upper 90 from opposite side of the goal, and that's a very challenging one to defend as a goalkeeper.
As a goalkeeper overall, it's training or not, being a goalkeeper for a few years, it's a very difficult ball. You might reach it on a few opportunities, but it's a tough ball to get. It comes with a curve from the outside, coming inside, and here comes Andrew.
Here comes Kiefer trying to pick it up, and that's Bowen Clark, the goal scorer. Clears it away, and so we'll see Finnegan, Jackie Finnegan, coming in.
One thing you can notice here, we always come with quality up to 3/4 of the field, and it's just that last final touch. Sometimes we need to connect here and there, but we were doing a very good job until with the defensive wise, and just 2 unlucky shots for our part.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that the little things that you have to think about as a team is, all right, they've scored 2 from distance. We need to make sure that when they're picking that ball up, we're putting them under pressure quicker. Because there's only so much you can do. I mean, we're getting opportunities on the attack. So Hosel's turned away there.
You can see us pressuring them on their field and then the first third of their field, and here comes Bernie. Gives a very good pressure.
Takes the ball away, cutting inside, looking for Finnegan. She goes down, no foul there as Porter picks it up again, dropping in. And looking for Finnegan over the top, and Finnegan putting pressure. She's just about takes it away there from, you said that before, Jarmelich. And the shot from Hosel from well outside is easily collected by Fallon. And Hiddison stepping in once, twice, and now Kitchen and the Force are able to control that. We got about 12 minutes to go here in the opening half. It's 2-0. 2 long-range strikes to the back upper 90 by the Force.
As we watch Porter play, of course, it's a big name coming into our field today, to the Hord complex today. If you don't watch soccer on a regular basis, sometimes from today you may not even tell, oh, that's the player that scored 144 goals in one season. But from a coach perspective, from a player perspective, you can see she's a very important player. Everything that comes through the middle comes to her foot. Everything comes out from her foot. She caused trouble on the first goal, and she connected also a little bit for the second goal. Not an assist, but she's the one always coming through. It's a very difficult player to mark. Sometimes that player is more dangerous than the one scoring the goals.
Not to give her too much credit, it was actually 2 seasons, not 1, but the number is astronomical, and something that when I did some research leading up to this game, the talk was that she has a chance to break the national record for high school scoring in her high school career, which I think is 280 some career goals, which is astronomical. Here is Bogue looking towards the back post and just out of the reach of Fallon. And Jackie Finnegan for a chance for Andrew College.
When you take a look at Porter's numbers also, you'd guess, let's see where she plays high school. Maybe from a weaker state or something. But no, she plays soccer in Florida, which is one of the best soccer states in the nation.
And so Kiefer will come back into the match. We'll replace Hosell.
If it's more of a physical exhaustion kind of thing, Carly Hosell is always the one coming up and down the field, and I think Kiefer will do the same job. Kiefer's very effective as Hosell is, and now it's pretty much just give Carly a little time off, so when she comes back on, she comes in strong and ready to do something.
There's Porter. She's going to pick the ball up, seals away from Maynard, squares it across looking for Gold, but Stanley's there to clear it away. Foster pokes it out to Kiefer. Now back to Bogus. I'll do a little interchange there as trying to get this game back into the attacking third, looking for Finnegan, and it's going to bounce off of her to Bogue. And Bogue's going to get towards the end line. It's going to go out for the first corner of the match for Andrew College.
A good option for this corner would be to throw it right in front of the goalkeeper. It's a very difficult weather, as we've been talking about. It's gotten wetter since the beginning of the game. It's very difficult weather. Throw it in front of the goalkeeper. Give her something to deal with. It's put a couple of players in there and make them work. Test her a little bit. We haven't really tested her as far as we wanted to.
Bogue's going to swing this in. Out of the reach. Hannah Stanley's there. Header bounces and gets picked up by Fallon. As I was just about ready to say, we had some height advantage and almost would have seen Sydney Tucker go up as well to put the two, center backs along with Maynard. But here comes Foster picking the ball up and looking for some help. Gets it to Maynard. So the more danger coming from Andrew College corner, as looking for Hiddison on the overlap was Foster. And we'll get 3 substitutes for the Force. 7:57 here to go in the opening half. Here you're watching live from Hord Field in what is normally sunny south west Georgia, but today rainy conditions, some storms coming in over the week from the Gulf Coast in the Texas area, and flicking over, looking for Porter. Bogus is there trying to defend, and Porter's touch just outside of the foot into the side netting, and it's a 3-0 advantage with 7:26 to go here in the first half. It is 3-0 in favor of the Force.
It's a very difficult player to handle. We knew we couldn't give her much space. It's just one of those things, fatalities from the game, and we can still come back. We haven't been dead the whole game. They haven't been dominating us the whole game. We shut them down for a good 20 minutes of the game after they scored. It's one of those things, the men's soccer team, you might not think of it this way, but the men's soccer team when played Eastern Florida suffer a little bit of this. We were losing 2-0 for a while, and we had the game. We could even come back. We had a few opportunities, and the last couple minutes of the half, they came in and scored 3 goals, and that's the thing that puts you down. Here comes Force.
Porter showing the pace. What looked like was going to be an easy ball to defend is picked up by Porter, and now a little spread. Stanley coming out, swings it in from the near side was Mills, and Mills can't corral that. It's going to go out for a goal kick to Andrew College. But you're right, George. I mean, the thing about, we can talk about it in baseball and softball. When the wheels come off, they just usually come flying off for several innings, and it's momentum that's the most dangerous thing in all sports, or the most successful thing is having the momentum. And right now, things are the odd little things are kind of breaking up that chance of the momentum being built for Andrew College right now, as Kiefer trying to get past her mark on the far side, and they'll go out for a throw to be taken by Bogus. A throw in taken, and it's headed away and over the touch line for another throw in. So, the old adage, 10 yards in a cloud of dust, but you get to live another day.
One of the things I like to expand on again, it's our defensive line, how we have Hannah right now telling the whole team to push up and pressure. One of the greatest comparisons I can find for her and Sydney Tucker playing together is the Brazil defensive line and also the PSG defensive line. Thiago Silva and David Luiz. David Luiz is a kind of a crazier guy. He goes in, he's a taller guy. He goes in for all the tackles, give 100%. Sometimes they're even a little irrational, but comes in full force. And then you have Thiago Silva, which is a captain, a true captain, the guy that comes in at the right moments and tell things how to be done. And both of them, they complete itself. PSG has one of the best defensive lines in the world, along with Brazil. And it works for us too, most games, and we hope this will shut Florida Force down for the rest of the game.
Well, that's if there's kids or parents watching out there, they have to understand it's when a coach builds a squad, you can't put 11. When I say starters, I mean emphasis on the star. You have to have people that do their role and complement one another. And you talk about that partnership in the center back, and they complement each other very well throughout the year, and you get good play from your outside backs to support, and you got to get forward. Bogus came as a midfield, more of an attacking player, and she, did very well. I think she played all 20 games at outside back last year, or in the fall rather. So it's the thing that happens in the college game. It's the thing that happens when a coach builds a squad, and I can speak on that in great depth being a coach on the men's side. But that's what you have to do, is put together a squad. It's not just the guys that are the best talent, but how they complement one another. And in this situation, Foster gets it over to Bogue, and it's poked away, and here comes the force. Now, if I'm going to be a little bit critiquing, they do a little bit more go up and down the field. They do check back those top three, but there isn't a lot of inside movement regularly. And as Hiddison misses the ball, but it goes offside, that's one where if the runner's coming inside, she doesn't get called offside because she's able to cut in front of Hiddison, and then she would be in on goal.
I agree with you. Sometimes tucking back a little to the side, and even professional teams are criticized for this. I mean, we're by no means criticizing what Florida Force coach is doing, but just sometimes it might be a little confusing for our defenders. Like right now, Elise is the one going on and defending Porter sometimes, like men marking on a couple occasions. And if Porter comes to the left a little bit or to the right, Elise, which is Elise Maynard, which is in my opinion has the best staminas on the field to catch up to her, wouldn't be able to do that. She would be a little locked in the midfield, and that job wouldn't be with her. So it would confuse us a little bit more. It could be a little bit more dangerous.
Yep. And you talk about the Darden mishandling that one, picked up and finished on the end line by Mills. I believe that's Mills.
Called it an accident of the play. We wouldn't really blame Darden. She's coming in doing it's most of even a favor, She isn't our starter goalkeeper for last semester, signed with FSU. I'm wrong, USF. And she had a terrific season. I believe in our channel we have some highlights from her. But Darden came here to do her job, and she's been doing a good job and you can classify it as an accident, this goal.
a little delay in the kickoff there. Some things are being tended to by the referee, but you know. And the other thing you talk about when Porter checks in, well, before I get to that, I want to say, the thing about Elise that makes her so good in that fitness side is she works on it all the time. I live just around campus, and I see her at 11 o'clock at night going for a run, and it's not a little jog. She's going out to make sure she's working very hard, and that's the thing that this program is instilling, and finding players that have that in them as well is you know, the quality and the work ethic is very important, because to move on to the next school at the 4-year level is you have to have a high level of desire.
One of the good things about Andrew is that it gives you plenty of time to work hard on what you want to do. You know, for anybody looking forward to coming to Andrew, it's not the college, it's not the top partying college out there or anything, but if you want to be a soccer player, you want to be successful the first 2 years, you kind of give up the first 2 years and like parties and stuff and whatever, but you give it up for a better life, for be successful in a team. You know, it's a small town. If you're running, you can run anytime you want, and it gives you the resources to get better yourself. You know, you have a field here. We have a practice field on campus. It's from my dorm. It's basically few steps down, and I can go there, grab a ball, and start doing a couple things. You know, there's a lot of resources for players to get better if they want to.
Foster turning away from pressure there and leaving it for Maynard. Good communication there, and Maynard bringing it forward, looking for Bernie. On a dry day, that probably stays in. Skipping out of bounds, though. And a shot there from Bogue. Header down is picked up. And just about 54 seconds to go here in the first half. To give you a little rundown, we're going to step away for a couple of moments. We'll come back with some halftime stats and some information. As I feel the temperature actually rising here as the rain kind of picks up a little bit more here at Hord.
It's getting to be tougher and tougher weather to play soccer.
And mishandled on the far side by the Florida Forces Mascarelli from Palm Harbor, Florida, which is you see a lot of Palm Coast and Palm Harbor and Ocala across this roster. These are a 97-98 birth year team. And Foster shielding away. There is the buzzer, which is maybe a little unusual for this club team to hear a buzzer.
That's the college regulation. That's how games end, and with a buzzer.
There's no stoppage time. There's no play on until the play is over. So that ends the first half. It's a 4-0 scoreline here for the Force after 45 minutes. Next to George Kuna, this is Rudy Radiger. Again, if you're tuning in, as we've seen from several people and getting in touch on Twitter, Joe Stanley and Tyler Mason over in the UK, you can tweet at us using the Twitter handle Rude Sports. That's RUUD Sports. Or if you even have my cell phone number and you're listening, I won't give that out quite yet, but we know we got a lot of people watching. We're going to step away here in just a moment. This is the Andrew College Digital Network, and we're at halftime at Hord Field. welcome back here at halftime. At Hord Field is 4-0 in favor of the visitors, the Florida Force, who scored 4 times, but 3 of them came in the final 12 minutes of the half, George. Or, well, 15 if you want to be real, but in a 12-minute period, they scored 3 of those 4 goals.
It was difficult because we got scored a goal, and it was a nice shot, one of those goals that it's just unlucky from our part, and we controlled the game after for a good 20 minutes, 25 minutes. We controlled the game. We had full control of it. We were putting some through balls, as I mentioned before. We just had we were unlucky at the last pass until the go and shoot, and we were unlucky with some shots also. Our team has a really good quality of shooting and etc. But we weren't very efficient as they were with the shooting. They scored 2 massive goals, very difficult for Laura, and Porter came in and scored a goal. You can't. It's not being not optimistic here, but you would expect her to score a goal as the player that she is, and we've been introduced before. And the last thing is that it was an honest mistake by Laura, but you can't really blame her. It's not. She isn't the goalkeeper. If that happened to me or anybody or even Alyssa, that was a goalkeeper starter, you could say something, but she's here to help. She's doing her thing, and she's doing the best she can.
Yeah, the spring season is not about winning. The spring season in college teams is about development. It's about preparing, and when you have a small roster, you've already had some players transfer on. That's part of our job as an NJCAA coach is to make sure that players get an opportunity to go on to a 4-year program. And when players get that opportunity maybe a little earlier, sometimes it's productive, but at the moment it seems bad. And that's the thing you can't forget about is, Alyssa Curtis was all region. She's gone. Haley Laland, all region forward. She's not here. So those are kind of, you have a goalkeeper and a forward, where are we struggling right now? It's putting the ball away, and it's a couple of missed chances here and there on the defensive side as well. So knowing what Coach Corey's doing and where we were and where we're going to be, it's a good spot. But you gotta give credit to this Florida Force team. They put away some chances.
Yeah, our midfield has been very compact and very solid throughout the whole game. You can tell it wasn't nothing with the midfield. The way we've been proposing to play is kind of on a counter a couple times, and sometimes you hear the Florida Force doing their chant. Sometimes you see them win a breakaway with a little bit more space. It's something common in soccer. Space will be there a couple times here and there, but the thing that will surprise you a couple times, it was very lucky for them. Lucky and shows their quality also, hitting those shots on target, and for a team not having the goalkeeper is a very crucial spot to be in the field. Sometimes a goalkeeper will be the difference. Sometimes someone that can score a goal that put away the most amount of goals will be the massive difference too, as a goalkeeper and a forward. Our midfielder is not having trouble, and we just hope we can compose ourselves now and keep the lowest space. Give Florida Force only like a little bit of space so they don't have that shot, because now we know how good they are at the shot. We didn't know that coming into this game, and we will lower their space. Don't give them so much space for a shot, and make sure we have a little bit tighter on Porter. We know the kind of player she is and what she can do. And just get better on that last touch. We've been struggling with that. We had a couple opportunities that we've seen. We can do it. I don't think it's a very difficult thing. We've been playing good all game, and we just have to make sure a couple of details here and there to make the difference.
Definitely. And so you're gonna have the back four stays the same, and it looks like we're back to the starting 11. Except, we are back to the starting 11 for Andrew College. And they will go from right to left. They're in yellow again, and this is the second half underway. 4-0 after one. And after the intermission, we're back underway. Kiefer looking for Hosel, and it's going to be picked up and brought over to the near side for Nearing, who loses that one. And Bogus, who needs to get some credit for some things on the ACD and a couple of players on this women's soccer team. Here's Springer trying to cut it back, and she'll lose it out, but it will be a Andrew College throw-in.
August have been working with our team, doing very complicated things, spending time, and yesterday me and her, Saturday night, we're at the studio getting a couple headshots for the girls that were missing. We're working very hard for this thing to go on.
It's one of the great things that as a coach coming here and you see the things that are happening. It's a great place to be as a coach and as for you guys, and then also Sadie Springer out there taking part in the ACDN and being right there on the ground level as first semester, second semester, first year student athletes is to me an opportunity I never got. But here's Bernie over to Maynard, and Bogus going to pick that up, send it to Hosell here on the near side, lays it in for Kiefer. Kiefer cutting towards the byline and towards the near post, looking for Springer, and it's cleared away out of danger. Throw in taken. Kiefer flicks it on, looking for Springer's path, and cleared away. Maynard will look to play it towards Bogue, but it's picked up, and now Porter making the run down the line. She'll pick it up on the pass. Bogus trying to defend. Now Tucker will knock it out of play, getting it away from Nearing. Jordan Nearing. Takes the throw in, flicked away by Hosell. And the ball, Bogus will head it towards Kiefer, but picked up by Mervin, someone we haven't spoken much. I think it's the first time I've mentioned her name. And Michaela Pickles, playing right back, is in the lineup there. And here's Porter picking it up and trying to slide it across the goal and out of the reach of the Crashing Kitchen, who scored the opening goal of this match.
Once again, it's one of those things we wouldn't expect from her. We expect her to blast this shot into goal, and she came and she was very
composed.
Yes, very composed to the ball and try to get it to her friend. I mean, it's for Force is one of those times in the game that you can risk things, and you can, if you want to pass a little bit more, you don't have to be so rushed toward things. Here comes Hannah. And she's doing a good job. Let's see what Pickle handles it. Yes, right there.
Now up to Bernie, skipping past the defense and sliding it up for Springer. Good touch by Springer. And trying to get around the defender will be a throw-in for Andrew College, taken by Yaya Bernie. And I believe the legal name on the driver's license says Alaria. But looking for Springer. Springer is going to knock that off, and it'll be a corner. The second of the game for Andrew College. The first one was dangerous. Is this where you send up some of the taller players here? Looks like it's going to be Stanley coming from the back. They'll leave Tucker.
I think one of the things that can help us at this moment of the game is how Elise Mater always comes and helps in the back, but maybe it's time to push one of the defensive backs a little bit forward and get Elise to pressure. She has a nice pass. She has a nice composure. Here comes across.
Looking for Maynard. Header.
And as I spoke, she comes in forward. She's a very talented girl. She could come in and even on breakaways and take this ball. And since you see Florida Force with 2 players up top, not 3 as they had in the first. They still have 3, but right now pushing a little bit harder. We could have one of our defenders pushing a little bit more, and Elise coming to help more up top as we need now. We're losing 4-0.
And here's Hosell defending, knocking it out. It'll be a throw-in for the Force. Springer going in for the challenge. And knocked away. And it'll be a Force throw-in. Looking for Porter, knocked away by Maynard, and then Bogus clears it over and corralled before going over the fence here at Hord. So throw in taken. And Bo could not control that, and it'll be a Force throw in, Bogus. And then Gold, first time, a little ambitious there by Taylor Gold to try and put Porter in, and just on this surface, your touch has to be excellent to be able to put that ball just where you want, and it's overshot and headed away. But the force still applying that pressure. And there's that run that I talked about across behind the defense, and Porter's quick play is
once again, she could have shot that ball. And you see how great of a player she is. You know, great players nowadays. I think the new generation of players, of great players, is if you watch soccer, you recognize these names: Marco Reus, Götze. Those players that can pass the ball, can score, but they won't just hit the ball to goal. And what she's doing is perfectly fine. I mean, the game's 4-0, and she's experimenting. You know, she's trying to get her assists on and things on. I think she's having a really good game, and already scored a game. Put her name on the board. She's doing a really good job.
And Maynard defending there, and two Andrew players slipping down and a little stretched now. So Hosel looks to slow them up and will defend, and Bogus will get it to Bogue. Now back to Bogus. Good interchange, looking for Springer, and collected by one of the goal scorers, Bowen Clark. From Ocala is Jessica Bowen Clark.
I think now we see the difficulty, even though we just came back from halftime. We see the difficulty of having less players. Florida Rush has been putting players all for a while into subbing players in, players while they're rested in. They're coming in and they're playing. They have a lot of vitality into them, and our players sometimes are giving it all. You see Elise, which is have major stamina, and she's already a little walking into the field, a little bit catching her breath. It's one of those things. It's normal in soccer, but they have a major advantage into that towards us.
Yeah, you got to talk about the depth, and the thing that differentiates, and a good challenge by Bogus there right in front of the benches, differentiates the NJCA from four-year play is the unlimited substitution rule. And here comes ball crossed and easily collected by Laura Darden.
A very nice punt from Laura Darden, coming in looking for Carly Hosel over here. She was wide open, had a little difficulty with the ball, but it was a good punt from the goalkeeper, and from her, very good sight into the game.
Bogus looking that diagonal ball, and it's defended as tight in midfield. Now Porter getting defended by Bogus, and out wide looking for Nearing. And Bogus will take it away, but it comes right back to the feet of Taylor Ham, the right back, and off of Springer for a throw-in in the attacking third for the Force. And picked up easily by Gold on lots of space looking for Porter, but now Porter's going to get it up off the missed touch. And Kiefer turns away from pressure looking for Springer, but defended easily by Bowen Clark. Those are the kind of runs where if you can make a diagonal, then you can't have a straight pass for a straight ball.
One of the things we can do different here is how she got that ball. It was a very good tackle. She got that ball and she put it straight away. At this moment, we have Sadie Springer by herself up front. So what I would do, I would keep the ball a little bit. We had Yaya Burney coming through the side and pass her the ball, maybe then open for a 1-2 kind of thing. When we have a single player as Sadie Springer, very hard-working player, but you can't only rely on her and beating three people by herself and putting the ball, especially in these conditions. It's very wet. It's hard to get a hold of the ball in some conditions, so it's better to put the ball down, maybe wait a little bit. And here comes Force.
Porter getting challenged by Tucker, picks it up right on the byline. And Bogus is there to take it away over to Maynard and back to Bogus, looking to work it out of the back. In for Hosel, but it's over the touchline for a throw-in to be taken by Ham. Or no, excuse me, Gold to take that. And Porter nodding it off of Bogus, and those two challenging one another. And Porter able to hold it up and lays it off, and a hopeful shot or a through ball there. Not sure what that was from Mervin. Goes out for a goal kick.
Force is at a moment of the game. They might try a couple of things. I mean, it's not. It won't hurt them at this moment. It's very hard for Andrew College to come back from a 4-0 score, and in this beginning they're playing better. They're capitalizing a little bit more of their spaces. They're passing the ball a little bit with more of a calm, and a very nice ball from Kiefer now. Let's see how he goes.
And Hosel here, and getting past the defense, and her cross just couldn't get around it there to swing that back across the face of goal.
But remember, I was talking about how it's better for us to put the ball down and try to get people in the wings instead of getting Sadie Springer. That was a much better. That was unlucky from Hosel there, but it was a very much better opportunity putting on the side and having Hosel with a space than to just randomly give the ball to Springer and hope she can do something productive with it. She might be able to, but once out of 10 times and forward.
And slide tackles are coming to be into play here as Bernie skipping past her defense and poking it, looking for Springer. Springer's offside.
Much better play, even though it was offsides. A touch here, and then Yaya Bernie is a very talented player. She can carry this ball until there's no more space and find something productive with it. From what it was, if Springer was 2 steps behind, she would have been on and scored that goal.
That was a good little deft touch with the left foot as well as Fallon came out. But you're right, it's those little things that today it hasn't gone our way. Not yet, at least. And here's Porter slipping it through for Nearing towards the byline, and she can't get around it, and it goes out for a goal kick. So we see it on both sides. For each team, just not able to get around and send that cross. So they're calling in the sub Mascarelli to come in for Nearing. And Bogus will send that forward on the goal kick. And Mascarelli will pick that up, taking on Bogus, and the challenge is won by Andrew College for a throw-in to them.
Tough play by 0-0 Valerie Mascarelli. A couple generations back, it would have been Macciarelli.
A good touch there by Ham, but nodded away by Stanley. And again, now picked up by Bernie and squaring it over to Maynard. And Bogue, excuse me. Now Bernie. And trying to cut outside. Players go down, but coming up with it was Mills. And the through ball looking for Porter. And Laura Darden coming off of her line to pick that up.
We saw Coach Harbinson yelling her name and getting. It's a good thing to keep her awake, and she came out. She did a good job. It was came out of her line just in time to grab that ball before Porter came in.
Sending it up, and it will go out for a goal kick.
It's one of the difficulties we were going on about it of a team not having their starter goalkeeper. It's one of the difficulties, when you have a goalkeeper that's playing with the team is already have the timing of the defenders. When you know a defender very well, sometimes you don't even have to talk. Just an eyesight, just looking into him, you know what he wants, or if I'm coming out, or things of the sort, and make sure the team's safe and not just relying on something and yelling and something.
It's gonna go. Can't keep it in as Bogus, so that goes over the touch line for a throw in. We got Freddie checking in as Porter sends that, and there's the strike I kind of expected from her. That's That time hits it to the back post.
We would expect it from her, and as we know, this team has a very good quality in shooting, and there we see another beautiful shot, and this time from Porter, scoring their second goal of the day, and I feel like she was just feeling in the game a couple times here and there, and this time she felt like she could do it, and she did it. Another really hard shot for Darden. Darden had no chance towards it, and it's just one of those shots.
So Michaela Pickle will take the throw in, looking for Springer. And back to Yaya on the dribble, trying to skip past. And outside of the foot, looking for Kiefer. Kiefer going to get onto it, back towards Springer. Just that final pass is missing right now for the Fighting Tigers. But before we got interrupted with the goal, Freddie from the UK, a fan, says, "Go Lady Tigers." Porter coming back to take that one away from Elise Maynard. And a little combo looking back for Porter. Her left foot is picked up by Darden.
Very secure by Darden. She's doing a good game for for her capabilities right now. Very nice punt there for Bernie. See if she can control it. Gave us a throw in. One of the things we can't complain about this Fighting Tigers team is the hustle we see in there right now. We see a lot of slide tackles. It indicates passion, for what you're doing, and the hustle for, especially in a wet condition like this, fighting for every single gap against adversities, against this well-trained team, Florida Force. And it's a 5-0 game, but it doesn't mean they're just playing for playing now. They're really trying. They're trying to do something productive here. They're taking it how spring season should be. Just learning and getting better, and getting back onto the right stamina. And how, as we pointed out, Elise Maynard is usually our best stamina on the team, and she's still having a little bit difficult right now at this point of the game.
Yeah, the spring is a time where it really comes up to as much as the teams train, it comes up to the players to be motivated to do extra work. The women are, playing 4 matches, but not every team's going to play the maximum 4 matches allowed. And you can talk about the fall season when you're allowed 22 matches. It takes a lot for players to be motivated. And this Force team has a different kind of motivation, because they're looking to be recruited. They're looking to make the move to the 4-year or 2-year or the college level. As a number of these players have, what I hear, and I don't talk about who's recruiting who or anything, but
here comes Bernie.
Bernie, chance here, cuts it outside, and just puts that over the bar on the final touch.
The spring season, especially for soccer player, is very, very important in getting back, and because you have the fall season, and after fall season things just go down, and then you get a little time to relax and think about school, because we are student athletes first of all. But spring season overall is a very important thing. You're coming back and you're getting ready for the next season already, and especially if, let's see the Fighting Tigers here.
Bo couldn't get on that. She'd been able to get on the end of it. That's kind of her range. She likes those long range shots, but now a counterattack. Maynard there is pulled down by Gold.
Coming back, it's a very good time for you to come back, especially if you have any injuries or something, which is my case. coming back from winter break with a tough injury to come back, but having a little time and doing things and coming back slow, what I could do, and later on getting more and more involved until I could do things again and training again. Now I'm just coming back, and I'm happy that we have a game. The men's soccer team has a game next week, and to come back and get back into playing as fall.
Kiefer squaring across there and knocked out for a corner. So you're right. Like having those opportunities to work on small things is big, and this is another corner kick of the match. As the sun is starting to kind of come out through these clouds and make for a bright swung in towards the near post, and Fallon is there to collect it. And that is Megan Fallon, not to be confused with and ball in towards Porter is knocked away by Tucker. Yeah, we got Bailey Buchanan checking in along with April Crosby for the Force, replacing Kitchen, and Bailey Mills, a couple of goal scorers. Well, so we've got 23 minutes and change left here in the match. Stanley defending, knocking the ball away, but it's going to come down to Porter. She's going to strike across the goal. And Gold was lurking there, but the ball goes wide and out of play. That's the kind of, like, there was a quicker close down there. Forced her into rushing her shot a bit.
It's opposing to what Florida is usually doing at this point of the game. They're calming down a little bit, passing a little bit more, and they're just experiencing a little bit. It was a nice try, you know.
Sent over and picked up by Kiefer. Ball knocked away, and Bernie there to defend it. But a throw-in taken by the Force. Stanley's there to play it back. Looking for Kiefer, who's up top now. Over to Bernie on the right side. Cutting it back across, looking, and now for Bogue. Bogue finding it and plays for Maynard. Maynard's looking for Kiefer. She was under a lot of duress there into that first time play. And this is a little bit of danger here for the Force, as Maynard's going to go down and a foul is called. Gold just coming through the side of Maynard's leg before the foul.
Maynard goes down and knows there's something wrong. And the first couple games of the season, she ripped open her leg. There's a big scar over there. She calls it a shark
Good
scar.
flick on Bernie, bringing it down, tackles it away. Kiefer shot, and Megan Fallon there to collect it as a good chance for Andrew College.
It was a nice try. You see, at least right now we're trying. We're getting these shots going, trying to get that pass going. And Kiefer has a knuckle shot better than most guys I know.
They have one of the best knuckle shots in the school. Gold playing it back, and a mishandle there on the back pass. And now trying to get out of pressure. Down line for Kiefer. But Bowen Clark clears it away and kept in play. Foster touching nicely away. And over for Hosell, and the foul is called. So after the foul, it'll be a free kick for Emily Bogus. From Miami, Florida, and Miami Killian Senior High School. Ball bounces, danger off the crossbar, and Rachel Bogue is there and puts it in the side netting. So
that's one of the things that was going on about that free kick on the first half. Put that ball in goal, a goalkeeper's going to have trouble with it. It's a very tough climate right here. It's a very tough surface. And as we go on with the game, we will say thank you to everybody watching the game worldwide. We know there's some people in the UK watching the game. We know there's some people all over the world, all over the country. We have some friends in Brazil watching the game. like to say thank you and catch up to us every time we have a live feed. Just subscribe to our channel and it's gonna be right there every time we have a live feed for every sport: softball, basketball. In the fall, we're gonna have men's soccer, women's soccer, and we have much more coming
Volleyball.
up. And also women volleyball. So a special thanks to everybody, UK, and Brazil, and everybody else.
Yeah, wherever you may be watching, we definitely welcome you, and this is a great initiative that's been put on by Andrew College, and the students here do 98% of it. I do maybe the other 1%, and Mark Brown does a humongous 1%. But the thing you got to remember about for ACDN, get a hold of Mark Brown, and check out the YouTube channel for the video that you actually helped make, George, about ACDN and what we do, and there are scholarship opportunities out there for people.
Yes, we are a very. This is a very good program. We won't find like that anywhere else. If you look up even on YouTube or other pages, not a lot of schools do broadcast the way we do. Even D1 schools, most D1 schools don't have their own program. This is a good opportunity because the staff is not doing much here. The staff is just helping us out, and us as students, we have all the opportunity to do pretty much what we need to learn, and especially if you want to work with this in the future, all we need to learn is broadcasting, as behind the scenes and everything. So check out our page on YouTube is Andrew College Digital Network, and if you're interested, we have scholarships for you. It's money for you to come do. If you're interested in this, it's money for you to come do what you like to do. So if you like that, get a hold of our YouTube. We have a video explaining how to get in touch with Mark Brown, which is our main man in the program, and I hope this is a program for you guys.
As Andrew has really started to dominate a little bit of the game here, slipping it through, looking for Finnegan, who's come in, and now Gold trying to interchange with Porter. Cleared away, and here comes Hosell putting pressure on, but that's looking like it's going to go out of play. Be a throw in for the visitors, the Florida Force. Bailey Mills checking back in, replacing Bailey Buchanan. Here's Stanley, maybe the fan favorite of the day, looking out for Michaela Pickle. And Pickle's going to keep it in play and sees that one then go off of her out for a throw-in for the Force.
For the Andrew College parents out there watching us and keeping up, I just like to enforce you would think this is a club team. It's not just a club team, it's a club. It's a very strong club team for Florida, maybe one of the top 3 strongest club teams in Florida, especially if you think Florida is pretty much one of the mainstays of soccer in the nation now, and you think of it, this is a very good team, and with some key players in it, and as we already enforced, from Porter being the player with 144 goals in 2 seasons for high school, which is very impressive, especially because she doesn't play for a little district. Her district's very tough, the Ocala, Orlando district, so it's a very tough thing. The Fighting Tigers are playing a very talented team, very organized team also.
And the ball across the box coming, Megan Fallon there to scoop it up.
Very good goalkeeping so far from her.
Very good indeed, and she had the mishandle in the first half, but here's Porter lurking. Tucker nods it away. And Gold keeping it, deflecting it off of Stanley, and Darden is there for the save. It's Darden's punt. Picked up by Bogue. Bogue cutting it back across. Seeing Hosell. And we'll play her wide. Defense coming. And we'll play it back to Bogue. And ball from Maynard. We'll get all the way over to Foster. Again, Foster with that historic goal in the region quarterfinals to send the team to the semifinals for the first time, I believe in program history, but in recent memory.
It was a historic goal from Amanda. I remember being just behind the goal, and it was a very controversial goal too. Carly Hosel fouled the goalkeeper, and I mean it's a goal. Goalkeeper didn't call. Referee didn't call anything. It's a goal, historic goal, and it's one of those you won't forget. Especially being a person right behind the goal and being there for the moment. I just like to say also, if you're watching us and you're let's go with Yaya Bernie for a second.
And tackled away just as she tries to go outside of the defender.
If you're watching us and you played for Andrew College, you had a connection to this college maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you remember the name Jimmy Gilbert. We had a extensive interview with him a couple days ago, and it's going to be on YouTube in a couple minutes. It's going to be uploaded on YouTube. Had an extensive interview with him about stories from back in the day, about how the program started. So if you can connect to that and you like to see how the school is now, you can just watch it, and I'm sure it's going to bring old memories back to you.
And for those people like myself who may not know those stories, it could be an insight, an open door into the history. It's something that I'm a historian, and you like to know where you came from. Shot is just over the crossbar on that, but it's one thing you want to look into the future and you want to know where you came from.
Exactly. If you don't know, Andrew College program was very successful back in the day, late 70s into the 80s. We won several conferences, and we went to nationals. We were national runners-up, if I believe, in 1991. There's a lot of history in the 92. I'm sorry. There's a lot of history into this program, and it's very good to learn where you are and how important it's been, how important this program is to the school.
Yeah, when I come into the office every day, I walk by 17 trophies the men's soccer team has won. National runner-up, 2 Final Four appearances, 10 region championships, and a couple region runner-up appearances as well. So those are a big historic program. And one of the big names that you'll probably hear about in that video is by the name of Ray Wells. Moved on and was a 10-time national champion at Lindsey Wilson.
Legend in AI right now.
Yeah, actually one of the things I heard recently was one of the players that Ray Wells recruited to Andrew College ended up being one of the first players to go to Lindsey Wilson. And he's one of the longest tenured players to play in the MLS. That was the kind of level of talent that was being recruited here at Andrew College and is at Lindsey Wilson now.
And if you can remember, playing pro right now that graduated from Andrew College, plays second division NASL Fort Lauderdale Strikers, Joe Nasco, their goalkeeper. As you see, Florida Strikers, let's go with a play for a second.
And there's Hiddison's cross is going to go out for a corner kick.
Florida Strikers were bought, around 30% of Florida Strikers were bought by Brazilian legend Ronaldo, and he's renovating the team. And Andrew College graduate Joe Nasco, who played for the Colorado Rapids last season, got transferred to Fort Lauderdale Strikers, and it's a really good asset, to know where he came from, and it came from here. It's stories that we may hear every day from someone, from a teacher or something of the kind.
So Bogue will take the corner, see if they'll find Maynard again. This one bending towards over the goalkeeper's punch, and this should be a throw-in, I believe, for Andrew College, and it is. It's just enough of a touch by Megan Fallon there to get it out of trouble. Looking for Finnegan. And good combo play, looking for Bernie towards the byline. Pulls it, and it will be out of play.
It's very tough weather to be a goalkeeper in certain aspects, you got to be used to this. You have to... That's why sometimes it's good to practice in the rain. You got to get the feeling of it. It's the good of a really good warm up, because those balls are really tough into the goalkeeper, coming in and dipping, and with all the rain and everything coming through. Megan Fallon has been doing a great job so far. A couple things here and there, but overall, very good job so far, capitalizing everything. Here comes Porter.
Deep run from Porter, and her shot goes over the goal And she made that run from deep. The defender felt like they had no pressure, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, that quick, deep run from the forward was right there. But she didn't put that one away.
Just watching soccer, you give that as a miss, and of course that was a miss. It was a end the box shot, and it was a miss. But if you watch the depth of that movement, and that's one of the things great players have into them. They will give the defender a sense of security that there's no one there, there's no pressure, and in one moment, they will be right there and pressure them. And that's one of the things we see from this girl. And I haven't seen her play before, but you can tell she's clearly a potential and has everything to go play D1 and professional later on.
When I hear, and I'll be honest, when I hear 144 high school goals, you want to know who it's against, who the coach is. Because I came from an area in Ohio where some coaches would just push one player to score all the goals, and they would get all the recognition, and it didn't make them a good player. But the thing you see from Porter is the quality is there. So it doesn't matter who you're playing against, the quality is going to stand out all the time, and that's going to, have her, on the radar of a lot of different areas. And she's a player that you got to imagine is kind of in the, here's a ball over the top for Kiefer, and it's going to be cleared away. And I want to say hello to Gary Brown and P. Beckingham, who both say go Andrew College, and Gary Brown, another English family from the Browns down or across the pond in England, tuning in. It's about almost 7 o'clock there in England right now. I know that really well. All the calls I've had to do across the pond recently.
Once again, we'd like to say thank you very much for everybody tuning in around the globe. South America, Europe, and everywhere else around the country, because we do this for you guys to watch, and we do this so you guys can be connected. We know some people can't be here at this time, and I know you guys would love to, but if not, we're here to give you the best transmission we can give you and show you the game, and make sure you can keep up with a friend, with a child, or whoever it is you guys want to watch.
Definitely, and that's the big thing here. I've had the chance of, I won't have the chance of doing this in the fall because I'll be on the bench coaching my own team, but in previous stops, I had a chance to work with a lot of very good teams and got that connection like we're getting today from these people, and that's always the thing that makes it great for us, is to know that you're tuning in, that you're enjoying it. So we want to thank you for that. And I remember when I worked at one of my previous schools, we made it all the way to the national championship game, and I was doing the broadcasting. I got so many messages, my phone froze up. But here, Sydney Tucker back in the game, but Porter's going to pick it up. She's playing very deep on the dribble and gets past Tucker, squaring it across for Gold. Gold holding it up, playing it over to Buchanan. Finnegan coming all the way back to defend there. Gold squaring it across, and the one-time ball is going to bounce. Porter comes, heads it, and Darden comes to collect it.
With this last breakaway from Porter, you can see the quality she has of coming with the ball and maintaining the ball with her possession, not putting it too far. And we had a quality defender, Sydney Tucker, coming towards make the tackle, and she cut it like it wasn't much big of a deal. But that's one of the players that is essential for the team, coming through the midfield, carrying the ball, and not losing it. And here comes the force.
And Kitchen won that away from Tucker, but then loses it. And Kiefer going to put it over the top, looking for Finnegan, and Finnegan just close to getting on that, but just wide. You can tell, like, even though when you say Finnegan and Darden are on the basketball and softball team, they played soccer, and it's obvious. They've been away from the game for a little while, but they were soccer players. They are soccer players. They're just not on the day-to-day training. I jokingly told Jackie Finnegan that she should have came to Andrew College to play soccer, not basketball. There was no knock on her basketball ability, but she helped my intramural futsal team win some games, just because of the quality she brings.
And coming aside from that, she's a very talented basketball player too, as we've transmitted some of their game, broadcasted some of their games, and she will be there helping out the Lady Tigers. And it's very good to see multi-sport players coming into the school and helping out, and it's very good to see that we have talented players in this college.
Yep. That's, the incoming goalkeeper that's coming to Andrew College, and the men's team is a three-sport athlete in Josh Kennedy and in track and field and football, and then the goalkeeper in soccer. And those are the kind of athletes, depending on the coach. But for me, I love that because being able to do multiple things gives you a wider range of knowledge. And the thing Americans typically struggle with is the awareness on the field. But if you play more sports, you have to learn more. You have to learn more things. And here's Foster looking for Springer. She's in on goal and stumbling down just before she's able to get that shot. Good pressure coming from, I believe that was, I've lost the number who was putting pressure on her.
How it's a very important thing to, as you said, to play more than one sport and be to that play. When freshman year starting to be a goalkeeper, here comes the force with Porter. Porter comes alone.
And Porter just skipping it past the post with 4:20 to go.
You count that as a miss.
Yeah.
Made the right movement, everything right. That's a miss. That's 2 for her in the day, coming with exactly best movement that she could come, and just lacking a little bit in the finishing. But coming back to that, one of the things freshman year, one of my trainers came in and suggested me play as a 5'10" goalkeeper to play beach volleyball. Lived in South Florida, which plenty of resources available. I came into it, and it's something that helps me today. If you're a short goalkeeper, you got to know your disadvantages and you got to make up for it. And it's like that for every sport and everything, to make up for your disadvantage. And
here's Foster playing it back to Hiddison. And Tana Townsend will come into the game for the first time with about 3:15 to go.
now comes Bailey Buchanan.
Foster looking in for Springer. Springer's touch goes towards looks like it's going to go out. It'll be a corner kick, and that'll bring Rachel Bogue back in.
It's another opportunity for us to put that ball right there, right on top of the goalkeeper, and put some pressure in there, and try to fish for a mistake to see if we can get anything. I'm not saying that the goalkeeper wouldn't be capable of getting the ball, but sometimes you have to force things, especially how the field is, how the ball is wet, and just take opportunity of things that come onto us.
Kiefer's left foot in swinger. Towards Finnegan. Finnegan scores! And Jackie Finnegan gets on the end of that cross and puts it in.
Our basketball player. Very nice surprise coming for our spring season game, as we're talking before.
And I was just getting ready to reference that there's 11 freshmen and 3 sophomores on the field today, and 2 of them didn't play in the fall. So you only have 1 sophomore that's going to be gone from this group, and 11 possible freshmen returning.
Here comes Porter.
Trying to respond, and just like that.
And you see the quality we're all talking.
Offside, so.
Offsides. But you see the quality we're all talking about coming through and taking the ball herself, calling the responsibility on her, and passing for a teammate right in front of the goal. Obviously, it wasn't her fault that her teammate was offsides, and maybe 1 or 2 steps back she would have been on. But you see the responsibility she took upon herself. That's the big thing for soccer players, calling the responsibility towards you, and making sure people know you are doing, and you have it.
And Finnegan looking to keep this in, and Kiefer's ball looking for Finnegan just wide. So under 90 seconds to go here in the match. In the second half, Andrew College outscored them 2-1, down 4-0 at the half. You could see teams crumble Um, and Gold will pick that up. And a nice outside of the football for Porter. Stanley is there and tackles it away.
Beautiful tackle from Hannah Stanley. One of the things we're talking about. Good positioning into the match, and I see a very bright future for her.
So under a minute, and Gold will take the corner kick.
Hannah wasn't there with that tackle. Porter would have been right in the goal. 1v1 with the goalkeeper.
Everybody back to defend for Andrew College here, and the ball's towards a flick on by the tall Larson Mervin from Vanguard High School. This will be a goal kick. She's a good 4 or 5 inches taller than Porter. And Porter picks that up, lays it off for Mervin.
The last 5 seconds of the game. Ripped a shot, just trying her luck, maybe 1 second, and sure, the buzzer buzzes again for the end.
That ends regulation. We're going to step away for a second, come back with the post-game stats, and give you a little recap. We'll be back here on ACDN with George Kuna. This is Rudy Radiger, and we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back here at Andrew Duke College Digital Network. This is Rudy Rediger. I'm next to Pat Gold and Corey Harbitz. I'm going to turn it over to them so they can talk a little bit about the game and their teams and the different things. So here's Corey and Pat.
Good. All right. Pat, good game.
Thank you, Coach. You too.
You guys got some good players, especially in the future. Definitely a few of your players I'm interested in bringing in. And like I said, you gave us a great run. I got to look back at the tapes and recap the game myself and see where we messed up. But I definitely enjoyed it, and it was a good learning lesson for some of our players moving forward.
Your girls play with a lot of heart, a lot of challenge. You gotta love the fight, never give up.
It is good.
Come back in the second half, being down, 4-0 at halftime, to come back and put 2 in, and never stop fighting until the end. I mean, that's what you look for as a coach.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's what I told him at the end. I said, we have to keep fighting and don't let the score, discourage you in any shape or form. You just got to go out there and play. And, like I said, that we could put 2 or 3 goals in the second half. We're back in the game. So it's a question of psychology within the team.
Absolutely. You can see the program you're building. I mean, it's focus down the center of the field and work it wide. The system, everybody's starting to buy into what you're doing.
I appreciate that.
See big things for you guys this year.
Thank you so much. Can you go a little forward about the force? Well, what's the direction you want to take the club in moving forward with your players?
We're just trying to get known right now. Just trying to get out there and get the exposure that these girls rightfully deserve. Right. We're the small club that nobody ever heard of. Sure. And the girls have gotten opportunities, and they've taken advantage of their opportunities. Kind of like a David versus Goliath.
Sure.
We get in brackets, and it wasn't easy this year. Every team we played was either a state cup team or a state cup champion or number 35 in the nation. And,
right.
Not only did we defeat some of them, but we played at a high level.
Gotcha.
And that's the goal. That's
awesome.
The goal.
Well, like I said, you certainly put the team on the map with sending us Alyssa Curtis this past season, a girl that, I just saw a lot of heart and potential in. And from the start to the finish, it was night and day with her. She grew, just not as a player, but as a person as well. And, now she's moving on to bigger and better things, going to University of South Florida next year. And that's obviously compliments to your club of getting her the exposure that allowed me to see her, to bring her here. And I hope that I can help your players more like that in the future.
Yeah, I'm hoping to build a relationship off of this as well.
Definitely.
I can't take any of that credit. That credit goes to my DOC, Brian Fallon.
Yes.
He's actually right over here if he'd like to say a few things. He's been a big part, instrumental reason is why the club has gone the direction it has.
Yeah.
He brought that organization and that process that we always needed. So
we appreciate that, Brian.
He's got a little stage fright. He don't want to talk. But I just want to thank you guys for the opportunity.
Yes,
it was a big
Pat,
opportunity for my girls on a big stage. We left some chances on the field, but again, the heart and determination that your team showed really made it difficult in the second half.
Thank you. And we will look forward to playing you guys in the future again, and this relationship is going to stay, and we want to continue working with the Force.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, Pat.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
For everyone here at ACDN, this is Rudy Rediger. We thank you. It's a final here from Hord Field. The Florida Force and your Andrew College in a spring exhibition game here. Until next time, I'm Rudy Rediger for George Kuna, Mark Brown, Jeffrey Jackson, and Ja'Cory Johnson, and everyone else that helped out, Sadie Springer and Emily Bogus. This is Rudy Rediger. So long, safe travels, and God bless.